guys, welcome to Zay's Crochet and Macrame. I'm Kayla Fournier and this is Hayden Fournier, and today we're going to show you how to make Crochet Toddler Mittens. So these mittens I would say will fit age 2 to 4. Hayden here is right now almost 2 years and 6 months, and these mittens just about fit him, as you can see. They might be like slightly big, but overall they just about fit him. They'll probably last him another year or two. They're nice and warm and cozy and whatnot. So go ahead and like this video and comment down below and let me know your thoughts on this tutorial, and please subscribe to my channel for more content and follow me on Instagram at Zay's Crochet to stay updated with the latest tutorials. Alright guys, let's get started. For this tutorial you will need a yarn threading needle, 5.5mm hook, and crafting scissors. I'm going to be using a local alpaca wool. I am not sure the brand. I bought this a couple years ago, but this is the type that I am using. You can use this or cotton yarn. I'm also going to be using eyelash yarn as well. We're going to start off by making our slip knot. We're going to put our loop on our hook and tighten it. And then we're going to chain 5. So to do a chain, you yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, pull through. And then we're going to slip stitch into the last chain from the hook to form a circle. And now we're going to chain 2 for our first row. And then we're going to do a half double crochet into the center of the loop. So we're going to yarn over, put our hook through the hole, yarn over, pull through with 3 loops on our hook. Then we're going to yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops for our first half double crochet. Then we're going to go ahead and do a total of 7 more half double crochets into the center hole, so that we have a total of 8 half double crochets ending our first row. So now we're going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet stitch to form our circle and end our first row. Now for our second row, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do a half double crochet into that first stitch, the same stitch that we slip stitched into. In this row, we're going to be doing increases. So for our next stitch, we're going to do 2 half double crochets into the same stitch. And we're going to be doing that every other stitch. So our next stitch, we're going to do 1 half double crochet and then 2 in the next. And we're going to continue that same pattern all the way around to the other side. I've made it to the end of my second row, and I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch to complete it. Now for our third row, we're going to chain 2, do 1 half double crochet into that first stitch, and then we're going to do a half double crochet into the second stitch, and then in the third stitch is when we will do our increase of 2 half double crochets. We're going to continue this same pattern. So 1 half double crochet into one stitch, 1 half double crochet into the next, and 2 half double crochets into the third stitch, all the way around to the other side. So we've now completed our third row. We're just going to slip stitch into the first stitch. Now for our fourth row, we're going to chain 2. We're going to do 1 half double crochet into the first stitch, 1 half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. And then we're going to do our increase in the fourth stitch. So 2 half double crochets into the same stitch. And then once again, we're going to continue that same pattern going all the way around. Now for our fifth row, we're going to chain 2 and do a half double crochet into the first stitch, half double crochet into the next 3 stitches so that we have a total of 4 single half double crochets. And then we're going to do an increase of 2 half double crochets into our 5th stitch from the hook. We're going to continue that same pattern all the way around to the other side. We're now going to slip stitch into our first half double crochet to complete our 5th row. And we are now completed with our increases. Now for our 6th row, we're going to chain 2 and do a half double crochet into each stitch going all the way around to the other side for a total of 24 half double crochet stitches. Now at the end of my 6th row, I'm going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet once again. And then for our 7th row, we are going to do the same exact thing, just do a half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. And after this row, we're going to continue the same pattern for the next 6 rows so that we have 8 rows of half double crochets. I have now completed my 13th row. And we're going to go on to making the thumb hole. So we're going to chain 12. Now we're going to slip stitch back into the first stitch where we started our chains. And we've now completed the thumb hole. And now for row 14, we are going to turn our work around. And then we're going to slip stitch up the first 2 chain stitches. So do a slip stitch into the first chain stitch, and then a second slip stitch into the second chain. Then we're going to turn our work back around, and we're going to continue to do our half double crochets into each stitch all the way around. So do one in that first stitch where we did our slip stitch, and then one into every one so that we have a total of 24 half double crochets when we get to the other side. I've now made it to the other side, and I'm going to go up 2 chains, and I'm just going to slip stitch into the second chain. And that will complete row 14. On to row 15, we're going to slip stitch up the next 2 chain stitches once again. And then we're going to turn our work around and work our half double crochets into each stitch all the way around to the other side for a total of 24 half double crochets. Once we get to the other side, we're going to slip stitch up to the second chain, and then we're going to do the same thing for the third row until we get to the top of the thumb there. So I've now finished my 16th row, and I have 2 chain stitches left. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into the third chain where the beginning of the row started. And that is going to complete around our thumb hole. Now for row 17, we're going to chain 2 and do a half double crochet over into the first half double crochet stitch over here. So just skip on over there, and then continue to do a half double crochet into each stitch all the way around for a total of 24 half double crochet stitches. I'm at the end of my 17th row, and now I'm just going to slip stitch right into the first half double crochet stitch. Now for our 18th row, we're going to do the same thing for row 17, and then we're also going to do the same thing for row 19. So after this row, do one more row doing the exact same thing all the way around. I just completed row 19. Now for row 20, we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to do a decrease. So I'm going to go into the first stitch, and then yarn over, pull through, and then go right into the second stitch, and yarn over and pull through for a total of 3 loops on your hook, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops for your decrease. And then I'm going to do a half double crochet into each of the next 10 stitches to the other side. And then once we get there, we're going to do another decrease as well. So I've done 10 half double crochets, and now I'm going to do another decrease into the next 2 stitches. Then continue for 10 more half double crochets to the other side. Now to complete row 20, we're going to slip stitch into the first decrease stitch. Now row 21, we're going to do the same thing. Chain 2, and then do a decrease into the first 2 stitches. And then we're going to do a half double crochet into the next 9 stitches. And then from there, we will do our decrease once again, and then we will do 9 more half double crochets to the other side. I'm going to slip stitch into my first half double crochet to complete row 21. And now on to row 22. I'm going to chain 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab my eyelash yarn. And I'm just going to incorporate it with my wool yarn. And I'm going to start doing half double crochets. So half double crochet into the first stitch, and 1 half double crochet into every stitch all the way around for a total of 20 half double crochets. Okay, so I made it to the end of row 22. And I'm just going to go ahead and slip stitch into the first half double crochet stitch. And then we're going to go ahead and cast off. So grab your scissors and cut off your yarn. And I'm just going to go ahead and wrap my yarn around the hook and pull it right through. And I'm going to do another knot so it's nice and secure. So I'm going to take this other loose eyelash yarn and tie it all together in a knot. So we've now completed the base of our mitten, and we're going to go on to making the thumb. So we're going to go ahead and get our yarn and make another slip knot and put it right on our hook. And get your mitten, and then we're just going to slip stitch and join in on one of these chain stitches here. So find the chain in the beginning corner here, and we're going to slip stitch right into there. And then we're going to chain 2 and do a half double crochet into that same chain stitch. And we're going to do a total of 12 half double crochets into each chain going all the way around. So I'm at the end of my first row for my thumb. I've slip stitched into the first half double crochet, and then I'm going to do the same thing for my second row and my third row of chaining 2 and doing 1 half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. So go ahead and do it for this row and the next row for 3 rows of half double crochets. Now completed my third row, and now for our fourth row we're going to be doing a decrease in every other stitch. So I'm going to do chain 2, and then I'm going to do a decrease in my first 2 stitches, and then I'm going to do a half double crochet into my next stitch and a decrease into the next 2 stitches. And I'm just going to continue this same pattern till I get to the other side of decrease and 1 half double crochet. Okay, at the end of row 4 we're going to slip stitch into the first decrease stitch, and now row 5 we're going to chain 2, start off with a decrease into our first 2 stitches, and then a half double crochet into the next stitch, and then a decrease into the next. Okay, and so that is the end of our row, and we're going to just slip stitch right over into the first decrease stitch. And this will complete our last row of our thumb for our mittens. So I've now completed that, and I'm going to cast off, cut off my yarn, and then pull it right through, and I'm going to do another knot so it's nice and secure. Alright, so we've completed our mitten, and now we're just going to go ahead and sew in all of our loose ends. So just take your yarn threading needle, and we're going to get each end piece and just sew it right in so it can be nice and discreet. Okay, so we're now officially complete with our toddler mitten. So go ahead and make a second one. And I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I really hope that these fit your toddler. Please give me a like on this video if it was useful to you, and comment down below and let me know what you thought on this pattern and the tutorial. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more content as well, and hit the notification bell to stay updated every time I post a new video. Alright guys, have a wonderful day!